Hey guys, it's Ben with Amerirent Equipment, and I want to show you guys a quick overview of this Haulotte 45XA boom lift we just got in our inventory to rent out. This is going to come with a trailer as part of the rental, but we want to give you guys a quick overview so you can take a look for troubleshooting, things like that, learning how to run it. We're going to give you a quick overview of that. So go ahead and come on here, Joe, to the base here. This is the base controls. So you have an option here with your key switch. You turn it to the left to go to your base control. If you wanted to control it from the ground, both stop buttons need to be out. The stop button here, the stop button up here, both of them need to be pulled out. Okay, this should light up showing your battery indicator right here. And then the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna use your auto level button here, and you're gonna extend out your outriggers if you wanna lift this up in the ground. Now you can control it at the basket control as well. If you're moving from site to site, you can do all these controls up there. But I'm just showing you on the base controls right here what you're going to do. So you're going to extend and hit auto level. You can control each pad individually. So right here is each pad going down, but if you want them all to go down at the same time in auto level itself, you'll hit extend and auto level at the same time. Now they could go down at different paces, which isn't that big a deal, so don't worry about that. Once they hit the ground, all the lights are going to light up green. So if you look right here on the pad, both of these need to be lit up, so 8 lights, and then the auto level button will be all green, and that means you're good to go. You can switch it over to your controls right there. One other thing you need to do when you're first starting this is you need to release your travel locks, which is one's right here at the top. So you'll pull back on this green button, lift up. This one's a little tight. Come up here to the front, lift up, release that there. You'll want to leave those on while you're hauling it on the trailer. The tires don't necessarily have to come off the ground on here. It'll automatically adjust with how unlevel the ground is. But as long as these 8 lights are active, you're good to go up in the air. You can control it from the base. We'll show you that first. So controlling it from the base, this is basically your control system up there on the basket. Down here, you're going to hit your speed control. So if you want to go slow, obviously turtle, fast is the rabbit. And then whatever function you want to do. So first you're going to have to get it off of the frame to be able to rotate it if you want to use the rotation. We'll take the basket up first. So let's just, for example, hit the rabbit speed, and then this controls that jib arm at high speed. Okay. You know, if you want to lift this up off the ground, you just do that, whatever function you want to do. It's going to do it down here. It also has machine rotation right here at the bottom. And like I said, just follow it as you're going up the boom. It'll show you exactly what to do. Now you can control it just with the batteries only, or you can actually start the engine, which is going to keep that battery level charged up. So if you want to start the engine, again, everything's got to be unlocked. You're just going to hold this. It does have a choke button here if you need the choke if it's cold, hasn't been started for a while. And then you also have your engine turnover button here. So you just hold that. And might need the choke to get it started. Hold that for a second. That smells flooded. So there, it's running. The batteries are charging at the same time. If those batteries are low, we don't want them to get low necessarily. So you can leave it running, or like I said, it can run with just the batteries as well if you want it to. It's kind of up to you. Obviously, if you're going to move it around on the job site, you're going to have the engine on. So I'm going to switch it over to the basket after I pull it back down, and then we'll show you the basket controls. If you do want to shut down the machine, it's easy. You just hit the red stop button and it'll kill the machine. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that back down, then I'll get up in the basket. Now one thing we did want to mention here is on the back side of this machine, you see this little paddle right here. This is important. If the outriggers won't come up, it's usually because this paddle is not pressed in. That makes the machine realize that it thinks that the outriggers are down and your boom's up in the air. So if this isn't pressed down into it, there's a switch in there. If it's not pressed down, the outriggers are not going to come up. So make sure when you pull down this arm, it goes all the way down on that, as you'll see here in just a second. And then once it hits that paddle and pushes it down, you might have to assist it a little bit. Once it's all the way in. Now sometimes this is a good way to show you if it's not in, either you need to have somebody pressing it down at the same time or reach it with your foot. Sometimes you can come up, there I'll just show. You can do that. If it goes back up when you do the basket, you can actually do the turn down function right here on the controls, and it'll do a different movement, and then it'll push it down in. So there, now it's down in without having to kick it down or push it down with your hand. Also, when you're putting your arm down, make sure it rests in this part of the bracket. Can you see this real close, Joe? Come in on this. Make sure this arm rests in this, as well as up here. Make sure that part of it is sitting down in there. There is a switch down in there as well. So if it's not down in there, it thinks that it's still up in the air. So I'm gonna switch it over to the basket. Let's show you some of those controls up there. Okay, so up in the basket, as you can see, come over here, Joe, show the lights. Your stop button's out, showing your battery indication. If all these light up here it shows the same thing with your control or your foot pads. All 8 lights are on and active. So that means you're ready to go up in the air. Here's all your buttons for control. So up here with this machine, here's your start button or your engine turnover, your choke. Here's your stop button if you need to stop the engine. It does have a plug-in right here on there, which would have to be plugged in on the ground as well to use that function. It also has your horn. And then this is your control for your driving when the outriggers are up, which we'll show you here. If you just hit it once for your turtle speed, which it won't let me now because the outriggers are down. Hit it again if you want the rabbit speed. This button right here controls how your tires turn. So they're hydraulically driven. Here you're just turning with the front wheels. Here you're turning with all 4 wheels. And then here you're turning the opposite direction with all 4 wheels. Or no, the second one's opposite direction. These are all at the same angle. So then if you're doing your outriggers, it's the same thing as the base. Hit your auto level button down, or you can do each pad individually if you're on like a weird angle or something. Hit your extend button and your retract button to obviously extend and retract the outriggers. Now again, you have to have the paddle pushed in. The machine's got to be all the way down in. The holders there up front, those brackets, if it's not in there, it's not going to let you pull up the outriggers. So let's say you're up, you want to go up in the air, you're ready to move, okay? This right here is your driving as well as your control of your movements of your arms, your jib, your extension. You have blue for out or up and yellow for in and down. So you want to select your control. So let's say we want to pull this jib up. We're going to hit this button right here. See, it's green right there, Joe. You can tell it's green after I push the button, turn green. Now I can make this jib go out by pushing up in the blue. It's going to pull us up. It's telling me my basket's not level, so I'm going to make the basket level. All right, basket's level, so it stopped. I mean, it threw the code right there. It says general fault, basket not level. So I made the basket level, so that way when you go up in the air, you're not going to be thrown out of it. All right. So now you can do your other controls. So let's say, we want to raise that main boom. Hit the main boom. It lights up green. Again, push it forward. Okay, it's going up in the air, as you can show them, Joe. Okay. Pull back if you want to go back down on this controller. Again, this switch has to be pulled in because it's like once you let go, it's going to stop because that's like it's showing you that it's there. So again, whatever control you want to do, you're going to hit that button and then you're going to go back to the stowed position, which is where it's at. Again, up here, it's the same thing. Rotation here on the bottom for left and right, and you just go back and forward. And it's all these controls, shows what you want to do back and forward. So pretty easy to do. Now I'm going to show you how to drive it. So we're going to go ahead and put it back where it needs to go. Again, to drive it and pull up the outriggers, everything's got to be set where it's supposed to be. The paddle's got to be pushed in. So I'm going to push the paddle in here. All right, paddle's in. We should be able to take the outriggers up now. Hit the auto level button, hit retract. Lets the machine down. Extensions are coming up. They have to be fully up in the air. You actually might be able to drive it like this. Let's go ahead and try it. So again, hit your turtle. See how white went on there, Joe? For turtle, there's rabbit speed. You can do either one. Okay, you're gonna pull your trigger in. As long as it looks like as long as the outriggers are up, it's gonna let you drive. Okay. Again, back. Go backwards. This top button here, Joe, on the control is going to rotate your tires left and right. As you can see there, we're rotating left and right. Okay. using the controls on the back here. And then when you get to your spot, you're ready to put the outriggers down and go back up in the boom lift. So again, hit the extend button with the auto level. It's gonna put them all down to the ground, push it up a little bit. We're on pretty level ground, so you can see right here, Joe, they're all green, and you're ready to go back up in the air again. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it. One more thing I did want to show you, if Joe, you'll come a little bit closer here. There is this cord up front here. This actually is the cord for the AC power connection for the platform and your charger for your batteries. Now it does charge while it's running, but you'll want to charge that if the battery's down if you have it overnight or something, or for a week or something like that, to keep your batteries up. That'll fully charge the battery. And then for that AC connection for your power to the platform, that's what I was showing you over here, Joe. If you want to come show them this, it's right here. So you'd have to have that plugged in at the bottom in order to be able to use this plug up top. So that's pretty much it. Pretty good overview of any troubleshooting that you have or anything like that. So we appreciate you renting from us, and have a good day.